Hi everybody, I'm Audrey from the Rediscovery Centre in Ballymun. As you can see, I'm on the roof garden. I'm going to start off our workshop here today. I'd like to thank IEN for supporting us with this workshop as well. So welcome to the garden here. It's a beautiful sunny day. So I'm going to show you some pollinators which are bee friendly, because we're a pollinator friendly garden here. You probably have some of these plants in your own garden which is going to welcome bees in to your garden all the time. So let's start over here. Come over here with me here, and you can see some of the bullseye daisies. Bees love these, so they're going to find nectar from the likes of these bees, from these plants. Move over here with me, keep coming over here. See all of these kind of plants that you probably have in your garden. Foxglove, the bees love these. When I was a kid, we used to open them up like that and let the bees in and out like we were doing them a favour instead of the other way around. So bees love these. So basically what honeybees do is they go into these and they have a really long tongue and they suck out the nectar from the likes of these, bring it back to the hive and start regurgitating the nectar between all the bees so that it gets thicker. Then they regurgitate it into the hive and they start fanning it with their wings to try and thicken it again, and then they cap it over as food for the rest of the bees. So come on this way with me. While you're here, you might as well see the rest of the garden. So we have lavender, which is a pollinator as well. You might have some of that in your own garden at home. And of course, if I'm talking about honeybees, I'm going to also talk about solitary bees later, because they don't actually make honey. They collect nectar and pollen to feed their own little would-be bees in the future. So come this way with me. We have sweet pea as well now. They're not in flower at the moment, as you can see. They're really easy to grow, so maybe you should try growing them at home, because bees love them. Plus they smell delicious, has to be said. Tulips. Over this way please, cameraman. The tulips are nearly out of season now, but the bees love them particularly. They love bright colours. So, you know, they go back to the hive. So just to I'm going to talk more about the hive later. But in the hive we have the queen, we have the drones, and we have the workers. Guess who the workers are, ladies? The ladies, the females, and the drones are the guys. They don't have much to do except mate with the queen. They've got the easiest job. That's ridiculous. And what about here? Look, this is rosemary. You see the flowers on this? Brilliant pollinators, and also they taste delicious. So you can try these on your salads and stuff like that. Pollinators everywhere here. Marigolds, calendulas. We have nasturtiums coming out. Flowers aren't out yet, but you can see I have them grown there. Bees need food from spring right through to October. The likes of the solitary bee, they kind of hibernate all the way from October until spring, whereas the honeybees kind of keep going once they've loads of honey stock. Like, we're a bit mean, we actually rob their honey. Hate to say it, but we do. Hopefully, if we're ethical, we leave enough honey for the bees, but we do feed them sugar syrup as well, and a thing called fondant, which is a thicker syrup. Come this way. We have chives. Look at these plants. Look, there is a bumblebee specially for you. And a bumblebee actually, where's the bumblebee gone? He's gone. He's a bit camera shy at the moment. Bumblebees also live in colonies, like honeybees. They also make a bit of honey, but they, there's about, let me see, there's 77 solitary bees. There's only one honeybee and about 21 bumblebees. So keep your eye out for bumblebees, because you know a lot of these are endangered. Now the honeybee is not endangered because they've been managed by beekeepers, so they're safe enough. That honeybee or that bumblebee is flying around you, cameraman, that you can't see him. But anyway, chives, yes, they love chives. Rosemary, as I said. We're growing potatoes. I'll just let you see. Oh, there's the, come over here, cameraman, quick. See him in there? See him buzzing off? He's actually, see him? There he is, going from flower to flower, doing his business. See? Thank you for that, bumblebee. Okay, this way we have strawberries here. So they're going to, actually the solitary bee, I know it's a terrible thing to say, but he's not great at collecting pollen, because the reason he's not great is because he drops a lot of it on the way. He just collects it in his hair, whereas the honeybee kind of moistens it first so it stays on his body. The poor old solitary bee loses a lot of it, which is great for us because then it pollinates all our plants. So 1/3 of all the food we eat in the world is pollinated by bees. How important are they? Very important. Come this way with me. We have cauliflower here, and I'd like to show ye, yeah, come this way with me. We have poppies. See the way we're on the roof garden here. Willow, now the willow's not in flower yet. We have lots of different willows here. They're a great pollinator. They usually come out early in spring so that when they come out of the hive and start foraging, the willow plant is there for them. See them here, like they're kind of little fuzzy, there's fuzzy heads on them, okay? You see the way we're on the roof, we're kind of going down this way now to the lower roof garden. And down here we have, this is called buddleia. And not only do the butterflies love it, but so do pollinators. At the moment now it's not out. Last season's flower is still there, but that'll be out very soon, and it's such a prolific grower and they just love it. Come down here, we've lots of willow here, as you can see. Loads of uses for willow, particularly for the bees. Come with me. I don't want to show my back to you the whole time, but okay, we're in a nice area again. So look. This is actually a feast for the bees. Primroses, we've got calendulas. I actually don't know the name of those. There's a really African daisy there. They're beautiful colours. So the bees love, all these colours are great for the bees. Cameraman, just show that bird box, because I think it's one of my favourite things here. I love it. Let's go down this way along the track. And down here, we have some heather, which they love. And of course we have dandelions growing all over the place, which they particularly love. So I know we're always trying to get rid of dandelions in our gardens, but the bees, brilliant for bees. We have to feed the bees, because the bees feed us. Right, where else? Just have a look at that. That's an insect hotel. What I'm going to be making today is a solitary bee hotel, because solitary bees don't live in hives. They live in the ground, and some of them, the mining live in the ground, the mining bees, but the ones I'm going to be making the nest for need to get into kind of little pieces of wood. But today I'm not going to use wood, I'm going to be using leftover toilet paper tubes. It's a brilliant idea. Okay, we've more herbs. They love herbs, of course. Sage, they love rosemary, they love chives, echinacea, lavender. And you see over here, cameraman, I'm going to step down here, you don't have to. This is an apple tree. And they just love apple trees. And of course they're going to pollinate it for us. And when they pollinate it, we're going to have apples. There's a happy kind of thing going on there between the two of us. We have, it's written there, look, it was donated by Avia, provides nectar and pollen for insects in spring and food for birds as well in autumn. I mean, how brilliant is that? You know, I know you probably all, you can grow dwarf apple trees actually, and you can grow them in pots. So where else are we along here? Okay, we have lavender. Smell from lavender is beautiful. That one's not quite out yet. Bees love lavender. It's a great pollinator. I'll tell you more about the queen. There's only one queen in the hive. The others are killed by the queen if she thinks new queens are going to be hatching out, so she kills them. But if the other guys, the worker bees, who are they? The females. If they don't like the old queen, they actually kill her. Or she leaves and some of the very loyal worker bees go with her and find a new nest when the new queen hatches out. So the drones, the poor fellas, God love them, they mate with the queen and then they die, the poor devils. They're gone then forever, but they die happy, don't they? So that's the drone's job. And the queen takes all the sperm from the drone, and if she fertilizes her eggs in the hive, they become females. If she doesn't fertilize them, they become males, drones, who are fit for only one job, and then it's good night to them. But of course they have their role. If they didn't do their job, we'd have no honey. So I mean, there's only one dandelion. We have loads of them, but They love dandelions. I'm going to show you this everlasting, there's some more dandelions. I'm going to show you an everlasting wallflower that, when it says everlasting, it's there the whole year round. It's evergreen, it flowers all year round. It's brilliant for bees. Come this way, I just planted one recently. This, when it comes into flower, and you can see it just about to come into flower there, look. That's one of the bees' favourite food. Love it. Okay, solitary bees and honeybees and bumblebees. Bees. The bees' knees. So over this way. Come on, keep up, keep up. Over here, here's the everlasting wallflower. How gorgeous is that? Look at the colours of that. That stays in flower all year round, and the bees love it. And the one that's just beside it there, whose name I've forgotten, but I'm going to tell you now, the bees also love it, is called Epirus japonica. Pink passion it's called, and it's flowering from April to May, fully grown, and it loves that kind of soil that it's in now, which is kind of dampish soil. So I think that's all about the food for bees. But when we go inside and I start making the solitary bee hotel, I'll be telling you more about making honey and what, because a lot of people think honey is vomit. I don't call it vomit. It's actually, well, it's regurgitation. Is that the same thing? But it's good vomit, put it that way. Right, I think that's about all. We have some worker men there doing all the work for the bees, and we have our beautiful pond here. Just over here we might as well go that we have some more plants for bees. Even though we might not like the weeds, they like the weeds. So they say. So what have we got? Any kind of bright flower you'll see, the bees love. And you can see the mint there with the leaves. Beautiful, smelly flower, and they just all love it. Can't get enough of it. So come with me inside, and I'm going to do the workshop with you. So if you have any questions, you can put it into the chat. And I'm going to tell you loads more about bees, because I love bees, even though they've stung me a few times. So let's go.